What up, burnt ones? This is the Sunburnt podcast where we talk about comedy and tropical travel. We are currently, as you're seeing this, in Hawaii, having the time of our life. To my right, as always, is the world's best stand-up comedian. You know him from Tires on Netflix and his stand-up special, Move Closer. It's Philadelphia's own Chip Chantry.
And over here to my left is Emmy Award-winning writer and producer. He is such a comedic gunslinger. He only has saloon doors in his home, Mr. Thomas O'Brien.
It's incredibly drafty.
It really is cold this time of year.
It's energy inefficient.
Yeah.
To a point where it's almost illegal
right.
with Los Angeles's energy efficiency codes.
It's not practical.
Between my front saloon door and my back saloon door is a noted coyote crossing.
And I hope that's the last time I ever hear about your back saloon door, Thomas.
I'm not going to stop talking about it. I had it put in at great expense.
Speaking of back saloon doors, we are on the back saloon door side of our trip to Hawaii.
We're in Hawaii right now. Not as we're filming, but when this comes out.
This is a little bit of Hollywood magic.
We're doing a little bit of a recap for you. Early on in the podcast, we looked at the 3-episode arc where the Brady Bunch went to Hawaii, and we really got into it. It was so much fun, but it was spread out over 3 episodes. So we're kind of condensing it down. People ask, could it be in one spot? Well, now it can. So we're gonna hit you with the best of episodes 1, 2, and 3, Brady Bunch in Hawaii. There's gonna be no fat on this brisket. It's gonna be clean, trimmed meat.
Yes. This episode, I hope, will be called Cleaned, Trimmed Meat.
Cleaned, trimmed meat. Maybe we'll do something a little more telling that it's a Brady Bunch in Hawaii.
Sure.
Spectacular. This is the big daddy. We're putting them all together. So on the other side of this open, you're going to be welcomed into episode 1 of Brady's in Hawaii. You're going to be right there in that living room when Mike comes home and spends a good deal of time poking his nose around the house. Like a very slow start to an episode.
It really is. Just looking for people.
And then just surprises his family that they're going on a vacation they had no idea about. But thanks so much. At this point in time, Chip Chantry's Thanksgiving in Paradise has happened. It was a tremendous success.
What a huge success I can see in my crystal ball right now.
Absolutely sold out. You're probably going to want to go ahead and get tickets for next year.
Yeah, starting now.
Starting now. I don't know if they're up yet, but they should be soon. Put a little reminder. Chip Chantry's Thanksgiving in Paradise. A must do. It's a bucket list event for a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
You just got to get yourself to Hawaii to experience it because there is nothing else like it on the planet. But this is the Sunburnt podcast where we talk about comedy and tropical travel. If those two things sound good to you, if they should go together in your mind, stay tuned. Front desk.
Hi, this is Mr. Chantry in room 308. I wanted to see if I could reserve 3 seats on the hotel shuttle.
Absolutely. What time are you heading to the airport?
Oh, no airport. My 2 brothers and I need to return a cursed tiki doll to some ancient burial grounds that are guarded by Vincent Price.
Sure. We'll have the Brady Mobile pick you up at 3. The internet's been going nuts. The views are through the roof, but we did get some feedback.
And what was that feedback, my friend?
In addition to some very nice things being said, people felt like last episode might not have been our strongest.
Okay.
But even more people wrote us messages to let us know that episode 1 of season 4 of the Brady Bunch not available for streaming.
Okay, so I got so excited and angry last episode, cliffhanger episode. I made a reference to Thomas, for those of you who did not listen or watch, and that's totally fine.
By all accounts, it was our worst episode.
I made a reference to Vincent Price on the Brady Bunch in Hawaii, and you just froze me out. Like, you're just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, again, are you a real boy that came up in the 20th century? And you literally said to me, I've never seen the Brady Bunch. Are you kidding me? I don't like to shame people for their pop culture or lack of pop culture knowledge, but it's like, I'm shocked how that missed you. Like, I guess maybe they just had a lot of hate in Oregon and they were just like, we're not showing it.
No, it's not that it wasn't on. It's not that I don't know about it, but like,
did you grow up in the wild country cult? Is that what you're telling me in Oregon?
That actually was not far away from where I grew up.
So that does make sense. Okay, all right. So
but
it's all coming together.
Clarify this for me, Chip. Like, am I remembering it correctly? Was this episode that we watched from 1972? Was that the year?
Right about. It's somewhere right in that vicinity. Yeah.
Okay, so I was -11 in 1972. So
right.
I mean, I don't think it's wild that I don't think it's wilder than the country I grew up in that I didn't see it.
I was also negative years old too, but I guess it just was on rerun so much that you just couldn't avoid it. But that's all right. That's neither here nor there. You know where it is, Thomas? It's in Waikiki. It's literally in Hawaii is where that episode is.
It was so good, and we'll get to that a little bit later. Yeah. But I had so much fun watching it. I clearly can watch anything that has to do with Hawaii, but specifically Waikiki, where we're going for Chip Chantry's Thanksgiving in Paradise. I have all the time in the world to watch, discuss, and spend time with that type of content, Chip.
Absolutely. I'm here for it. I'm here for all of that.
It is not available to stream. It is supposed to be on Paramount Plus. They have almost every other episode, but I asked ChatGPT, and they said that it's a rights issue.
Spoiler alert, 50 years later. But is it because Don Ho sang that song?
I would have to imagine after watching it, I think it's because Don Ho sang a song that they probably didn't clear in perpetuity, or the performance wasn't cleared, or who knows. There's a bunch of like things that matter on TV in terms of clearance that somebody could have screwed up.
You're Sherwood Schwartz, though. This is one of the biggest 3-episode arcs in the history of television.
Yeah.
And you can't throw those guys a little bit of licensing money. I don't understand it.
Well, it could be contractual, like on some of the shows that we've worked on, we've had licensing issues, and it depends on what's in there. Sometimes in the contract, they're like, you're just buying it for 10 years, and after 10 years, there's going to be an insane price if you want to re-up it for another 10 years.
Sure.
And then it can take another step up 10 years later or whatever. So we're 50 years past the fact at this point. And somebody could have just been like, you know what, it's nice to have this show on here, but we don't need this one if we have to we're not trying to buy Don Ho's grandchildren a even bigger beach house.
Exactly. And in their defense, literally everyone in the Western Hemisphere besides you has seen this episode.
That's
multiple
true.
times. So we know the gist. The Bradys go to Hawaii. They find, and they even do, obviously they even do, luckily, because they were smart enough back then, they did the recap at the beginning of episode 2, which you haven't watched yet, which I'm so excited for you to do that. But they do the recap, so you'll be able to see what actually happened in episode 1 if you don't actually see it. But you and I, we are not always above board. We do not paint inside the lines.
Nope.
We do not follow the letter of the law. That's all I'm going to say. And we figured out some ways to watch episode 1, including Don Ho and Sam Kapu's little unlicensed song. And they serenaded us, and it was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
They serenaded strangers that were children, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
While wearing the shortest of shorts, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, yes. And it was a romantic, tittillating song, but we'll get into that later.
Yes, we will. Yeah. That's our cliffhanger for later on this episode, so stick around. Let's go to our sponsor. Go ahead, Thomas. Short Shorts by Hawaii. Okay, go ahead.
We love short shorts.
So, just to bring everybody up to speed, Thomas O'Brien is, maybe again, we're getting older, so maybe this is not the weirdest thing in the world. Thomas O'Brien, up until this week, has never seen an episode of The Brady Bunch. Not once. I tell him to go watch the one specific episode. It doesn't exist.
On streaming. You can't find it anywhere legitimately. We looked into it. It looks like there's some clearance issues. So we did some digging, and while trying to find maybe just a workaround to find it, I came across some delightful videos on YouTube.
Okay.
And one of them, I mean, it's one of my favorite things I've seen in a long time. Somebody, I'm guessing maybe a 12-year-old, somebody with that kind of editing skill,
Sure.
had put up a portion of this television program,
Okay.
where they go to Hawaii, and they had crudely laid in fart sound effects every time Alice did something.
Oh, Thomas, I forgot to tell you, that's not edited in. That's actually part of the series.
Oh,
That's-
then I'm really
all
late.
she does is break wind. Yeah, it is. It's an ailment that she deals with throughout the entirety of the series, all 4 or 5 seasons.
The gassy maid. That is a tough person to repeatedly basically let live in your house. Like, if you
Yes.
have that affliction. No, but like there's and
That's
you'll
I gotta find this video of this kid.
I mean, just try and find it. It was on YouTube, but
Okay.
it's like it started off in the big one where I was just like, I think because I was trying to just put it together by watching clips, because we laid this out there. People
Yes.
were looking forward to it. We'd got some messages. People were excited. So I'm trying to find this thing, and it starts off hot. And I had no context, but you know the portion where Alice walks out and Bobby was doing a hula and dropped his little doll, the tiki doll.
The tiki doll, yeah.
So when she comes out and spins around and says there's not enough grass to fit and flashes her
Yeah.
butt, just a thunderous fart rips through. And then she bends over and picks up the doll. We get hit with another one, and then they're out there hulaing, and like they just crudely have overdubbed, like somebody saying like let's smoke some weed and let's do these other things.
All right, I have to find. This is okay because I'll be honest with you. I'm not the biggest fan of bathroom humor, but this
Yeah.
is art. This is art here. Like this is. Do you know what I mean? You're kind of it's kind of like the same way where it's like I don't necessarily like sun-dried tomatoes, but in this sandwich it works. Like that's I am seeking this out right now.
It was the greatest video since Bozo dubbed over.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
viral
Yeah.
hit from I Think You Should Leave.
Yes. Yeah.
But anyways, we had a number of people write in, say they couldn't find it. If you want to find it, I think you just go to Google, type in the name of the episode,
Yeah.
and one will pop up that has a very distorted audio track. So I don't know what the Brady
Yeah.
Bunch sounds like yet.
Yes.
as
You
far
think
as
they're
I
all
know,
sped up. Yeah.
it's like chipmunk voice. It's sped up or something.
Yeah.
So I have that version of it, and then I have flatulence and let's go smoke some weed version of it. So it's quite an interesting show that I have put together in my mind. But I put together some notes on what we did watch. And Chip, I would love for you to like kind of just respond to some of these, guide me through, let me know what's going on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
This is the episode. This is the first episode of the 4th season, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's as we all know, the Brady Bunch goes to Hawaii. It's a 3-parter. We're going to be talking about the next 2 episodes in coming episodes of this podcast. But so this is just the first episode. Go ahead.
Yeah. So scene 1 starts off, and this, I'm just such a nerd for this stuff. This got me so excited. It's like, it's a little first of all, it's a slow burn. This opening scene, he walks in.
Even when it's sped up, it's a slow burn.
Sped up, it's a slow burn.
Yeah.
The dad walks in. What's the dad's name?
Mike.
Mike Brady walks in. He's got a gift wrapped up, and he is just so slowly walking into the house. It takes, and this is the start of the episode. Like, normally you need to hook them, but I guess there is some subtle intrigue to somebody walking in with a gift, looking
It's the
around,
70s, baby. Yeah.
checking out what's going on. And then basically the wife comes in. She ignores him, sees the gift, goes straight for it. That's a gag.
She's
that's
a money
big
grubber.
laugh.
Yes.
Yeah, she's into material things over her husband. Hilarious.
Yes.
The kids come down, and it's just like they open up this gift and find out that there's tickets to Hawaii, and they are out of nowhere, unexpectedly, going to Hawaii as a family. It's one of those things. It's just like as an adult, you don't really get that.
No.
You don't really get that. There's just like not a lot of instances where it's just like, oh, it's summertime. We have nothing to do. And then just 2 days later, we're going to be in Waikiki.
Yeah.
I got so fired up. Like I could feel the adrenaline of these kids getting this gift and the whole family getting to go. And they bring Alice too, which I think is fantastic.
You know what that's called, Thomas? You just experienced your first case of the Brady bumps.
The Brady bumps.
The Brady bumps. You get that feeling. It's like goosebumps, but just for the excitement of de facto being a part of the Brady family. It's a great feeling, Thomas. Go ahead.
Also, maybe another term for sunburn.
I think so. The Brady bumps.
Brady bumps. So, the kids go nuts, and I'm just like, yeah, this makes sense to me. I can feel it. I'm getting excited to go to Hawaii with them, Chip.
Yes.
So, we get to scene 2. They are on the plane, and there was a couple of things I wrote down. A couple of the jokes that we got in there. We don't see them on the plane, I believe. They're just kind of on there. We hear them talking, and you see the island from the air. It looks exactly that way today. Obviously, things feel the same. But this is where I get like the first taste of some of the humor in the Brady Bunch. And it is the middle
lay it on me, baby.
Or it's the little brother going, "Hey, what's that big lump down there?" And his big brother goes, "That's Diamond Head, you dumbhead."
Yeah. Yeah.
It is just replacing a word with dumb, letting his little brother know he is dumb. Am I crazy, or is that so mean?
It's horrific. It's what brothers do to each other. It is a terrible. It's a terrible thing. Speaking of terrible things, that same line, I believe his name's Mike Lookinland, the actor who played Bobby Brady. Years later, he was in a made-for-TV movie called "What's That Big Lump Down There?" And it was a much more serious take about his health of the man he was playing. So,
on a very special episode, what's that big lump down there?
Yes.
Do you remember that? Do you remember? I don't remember what show. I think it was a TLC show. I think we may have seen clips of it when we were working on that NBC show.
Yep.
But it's a man who had the world's largest testicle.
Yes.
And he kind of had to wear a hooded sweatshirt upside down.
Yes, just covering it like he was pregnant.
It happened because of a terrible situation, but what a visual and what a wide spectrum of the human experience exists out there.
It was horrific. Yeah.
Also, Cindy, it's just like they really are nailing who these characters are. It's just such a shorthand. Cindy says, "How is this big plane supposed to land on that small island?"
Yeah.
And it's a perspective gag. She is an innocent little child, and she is earnestly wondering, she doesn't understand how high above the island she is. How's this thing supposed to land down there?
No, she's 7. She doesn't have that concrete awareness yet. No, not
so
at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters, so they really need to nail who these people are.
Yes. 4 seasons in, they're doing it for you, the first time watcher. Like, we all know she's an idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're still just hammering it home for you, and that's what I appreciate about Sherwood Schwartz.
So getting off the airplane, and this is 1972. This is 53 years ago, right?
Yeah.
If my math is correct. They get off the plane, and there are these beautiful, what I would assume are local women, wearing skirts and bikini tops, and they have to kiss every single passenger that gets off the plane on the face and give them a flower lay.
Yes.
That is insane, Chip.
Okay, which is so funny because you've never seen the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
I've never been to Hawaii. That's just something that I assume happens in Hawaii when you get off a plane.
It used to. I think it used to.
Okay.
And the airport looks a lot.
You have never experienced that, though.
No. It's like, I think they've kind of done away with the everybody gets a lay anyways, except for like the highest end resorts on Waikiki.
Okay. Have you ever had one? Have you ever worn a lay?
Yeah. They give the guys like kind of these. It looks like a nut of some kind, or it's like a string with a necklace of like these hard wooden beads, almost like
Almost like a puka shell situation. Yeah.
It's I mean, you could equate it to something like that, but they're brown and they're dark. I don't know what they're called. And then kind of they give the women the flower lays. But I just the first time I went, they did that, and after that, it was like kind of COVID, and I think it just kind of fell by the wayside.
Sure.
But I did think that was funny. And then I get like a little bit more of, Mike gets kissed by the lady. Alice is like, "Ooh, I'm gonna tell the missus."
Yep.
And he, and then Greg tries to get a little overly aggressive with
he really does, yeah.
the lay girl. I don't remember what happened. I just remember the dad being like, "Hey, knock it off, Greg."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, Greg's horny."
Yes.
I get who Greg is. And then
they really are laying out the characters well for you. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and as we go on, like Greg doesn't have a lot to say other than like, "I want to see some bikinis."
Boy, he says that a lot. It is problematic for 2025. Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, you want to see some bikinis, sure, but like, I don't know. It's like you're at the beach, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you telling this to? It's like, I want to feel some sand. I want to feel some. It's like you're at the beach. Look at bikinis. You don't need to keep. But it's how he relates to other men, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing he can. Yeah,
I think he wants people to know. I think
he
wants
language,
people to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next scene, we go to the construction site. We find out that one of the workers at this company, assuming he's a construction worker of some kind, and he's been tasked with taking the Bradys and his family, like being their chauffeur and tour guide for while they're in town. He also appears to be about the same age as their high school son.
Yes. Yeah. He's just a teen boy in Hawaii.
It's a little confusing, like what's his job, how he got there, why the construction guy is taking these people around in a construction company car. Like
which is a station wagon, which is the same exact station wagon as the Brady Bunch drives in California too, which is a little weird. Like same color, I believe, and everything. So yeah.
I mean, they only do one brand.
Yeah.
He drops them off at the Sheraton Waikiki, which is only a couple hotels down from where Chip Chantry's Thanksgiving in Paradise is going to be.
How exciting is that? And that's still there? That is still a functioning hotel. Okay.
Big time. It's very close, and like I still, even in the drop off, it's kind of not something that you're going to see a lot if you're not staying there, but there are some places, some restaurants and parts of Waikiki that you will walk by it. Looks very much the same.
That's great.
And then they drop their stuff off, and now they're in Hawaii. They come back in. They're all in Hawaii garb, and this guy's going to take them sightseeing.
This is the magic. This is the part that I was like, here's where Thomas locks in.
Oh no, I'm totally locked in. It's just, and it's also like sometimes old TV shows have like a very gross, muddy feel to me.
Oh, of course.
I just don't like the way they look. Like there's something in them that feels stale, that feels old, that feels, I don't know. It's just off-putting to me, which is why I haven't watched a lot of old shows like The Brady Bunch or anything. Like I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
And but dude, the colors were pretty true. It was very vibrant. It was feeling good. And they went all over Hawaii. They went to this big lookout that looks out over all of kind of Honolulu. It's a beautiful place. I actually haven't been there before, but I've seen lots of videos of people. It's a state park. You can drive up there, and it's just a great place to see the whole city. They do like there's a local name for it in the Hawaiian language, and the tour guide tries to tell the Bradys, and they can't say it, and they're not really trying to say it, and they're making light of how difficult it is to say. And then Dad just yells out through the clutter, what do you say? Why don't we just call it Lookout Point?
Yeah.
And everybody goes nuts, including the people at home on the laugh track.
And it's just like, hey, we're the white people here. We're in charge. This is our world.
Yeah, this
And
needs to be contextualized to make sense for me.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't feel like an outsider at all. Yeah.
The next stop, they go to King Kamehameha's statue in front of the royal palace there. They take some pictures. Cindy makes the joke, I know why he became the king of this whole place. Look how big he is.
Which is, okay, that's her second perspective joke of the episode.
Because she's so small, she only sees things in relation to size.
She doesn't understand how size works.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Yeah. Cindy.
Then they go to Pearl Harbor, where the tour guide gives them a bunch of interesting facts about the naval base and all the things there, until they get on the big ship exhibit. And then I'm guessing there was a meeting where they're just like, we need. This is serious. This is American troops that got lost. We need a white guy kind of to probably walk us through this. And then all of a sudden, when they're on the monument, Dad is an expert and knows why it was built a certain way, and is like walking them around to the different plaques and different areas on the ship as if he has lived and worked on this ship for the last 15 years. All of a sudden, he knows everything about this ship.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty interesting
really
take.
put it in the hands. They're like, we can't have some Polynesian guy talking about this. We need a closeted gay man to tell America what happened at Pearl Harbor.
Oh, was he considered closeted back then?
Yes. Yeah. He was, as far as I understand, yeah.
Well, good for him. It seems like a very caring individual.
He's a great guy. By all accounts, great guy, yes.
He has all the facts on the ship. And then the tour guide gives us a little backstory on the local mythology that one of the chiefs had warned them when they were building this base, don't do it. This is where like the shark queen or something, the shark god, the shark queen god, this is her place. And if you build stuff here, it's going to be cursed. And they had a couple of hiccups during the building, and then everything was fine there till Pearl Harbor, which is why a lot of the locals think it's cursed. So we are setting the stage that there is some spiritual things potentially going on there that we as mere mortals might not understand.
The owls are not what they seem. Exactly. Yeah.
And he says he doesn't believe it, but a lot of old timers around there do believe it.
Yes.
So this is when we get to the tiki doll you were talking about. Is it a tiki doll? Is that like the way you say it?
They called it taboo. That's what they.
Oh, they keep calling it taboo. Okay, so taboo. I can roll with that. Yeah. So the construction workers dig up taboo. It's this little tiki doll. The boys go running around, find the doll. I believe this is also. Yeah. So the boys go running off. They find the doll. Greg is kind of talking to the guide, and he wants to see some bikinis, I believe.
Boy, does he ever. Like, we're at a construction site right now. I need to bring this up.
Yeah, and the guy's just kind of like, oh, yeah, totally, dude. Bikinis. You know what? Yeah. I'm judging a surfing competition. Why don't you come by? And Greg's like, I surf. Can I join it? And the guy's like, you're in, buddy. So now Greg's got a big surfing competition coming up.
He's just inserting himself into everything on this island.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's in it. And the next scene, they're back in the hotel room. Just the boys, and they're talking, and Greg's like, I'm going to be in the surf competition. They're like, you're going to get slaughtered. These guys grew up surfing. They're really good at surfing. And this is where Greg kind of takes a stand for a white man's ability to be a great surfer.
Of course.
He's like, no. There's great surfers all over the world. I can be great. And they're just like, his brother's like, yeah, we know there's great surfers all over the world. We just don't think you're one of them.
Real slam. These brothers, just hijinks, man. It's like the Three Stooges here.
A real slam. But Greg gets so upset that he throws a pillow. It hits a wall covering and almost crushes Bobby.
Yeah. The boy's skull is almost toast.
Bad luck. But Bobby thinks it's good luck. I mean,
because he didn't get hit.
One side of the coin.
Yeah.
So next scene, we've talked about it before. This is the ukulele scene where Don Ho comes out, and Bobby's just cranking on a ukulele. Not well.
No.
Cindy's like, this is bad news. You stink, basically. And this is when two grown, handsome Hawaiian men walk up, basically ask to see the ukulele, and then play these two strangers a very
these
romantic,
two strange children in a parking lot.
A romantic Hawaiian song.
It's my favorite pre-Stranger Danger moment, I think.
It really caught me off guard. Is like, how did this like get through on? Like, they could have made it so much simpler.
They could have an adult present, you know?
They could have an adult present, or like, it turns out Bobby knows who this guy is. After he plays the song, he's like, "Oh, you're Don Ho," and I was just like, if he would have seen like a famous ukulele player walking by and just been like, "Hey, you're Don Ho. Could you show me how to play this thing?" You know how much less creepy that is than the guy walking up?
Yeah, or like Jared from Subway sees a kid trying to make a sandwich and he's like, I got this.
And he gets behind him and does like the "I'm teaching you how to golf" thing. He's like, and you're going to spread
it here. Yeah, and then he takes
the Italian
a phone call.
herb.
He takes a phone call and starts screaming at his manager.
I don't know. I thought that was just like a really bizarre situation.
And it's like, how do you feel if you're Don Ho? Like, I guess it's like, hey, put me in the shortest shorts you can find and let me sing a love song to two strange children in a parking lot.
It's no good.
Yeah.
So after that scene, the parents go see Don Ho at the hotel. Mom makes fun of Dad for being horny again. She's like, "You were looking at the hula girls." And I just can't imagine how tired that old shtick would get of her just constantly being like, "You're looking at other girls. I don't like it."
It's 5 seasons worth of that, just so you know. Just heads up, 5 seasons of that type of banter. That level of banter is what you're getting for 5 years on American television.
It's wild. So now we're going to skip ahead to the actual surfing competition.
Yeah.
Okay, so and by the way, Bobby crushes his ukulele.
Yes. Another sign of bad luck.
Another sign of bad luck, but he still thinks this thing's good luck.
Because he's a dumbhead, like Peter called him.
A dumbhead. So basically, the women go out. They take a hula class. Alice has found the taboo. She's holding on to it for Bobby, and she gets paralyzed doing this hula cat. She just out of nowhere can't move. And by the way, the hula instructor on that thing doesn't get to say one word.
No.
But might be one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen on TV. It's a shockingly attractive person.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We get to the surfing competition. Bobby has his taboo back.
He's got the taboo back, yeah.
And he gives it to Greg for good luck in the surfing competition. And this is where Greg goes out there and actually kind of rips, man.
Yeah.
He is catching some good waves. Like, he's not quite to the level where some of the other guys was. There's some real impressive stuff going on. But Greg is holding his own.
He really is, yeah.
Until he isn't.
No.
And he takes a big splash. And after, like, everything we've seen so far, he goes under. And my favorite commercial act break, a cliffhanger.
Yes.
He goes underneath the water. And we literally go to commercial thinking he might be dead.
He's drowning. There is only 5 Brady children left.
Yeah, and we come back.
What a heightened moment right there.
Dude, it's completely unhinged.
Yes.
And we come back, we find out that he pops his head up finally, and then that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But what a cliffhanger. He almost died, and I can't wait to watch the rest of them.
I'm so excited for you to see the rest of this, just to get to that reference, but we're in Hawaii, so so we'll talk episode 2 next episode, break it down, and I think there's going to be some moments for you where you're going to be pretty excited about. And they are actually on Paramount Plus or wherever you're watching it, so you can actually watch it in its entirety.
I can't wait to see it as God intended. And we're back. What a fascinating episode 1 was, Chip.
Breaking down some of the best, I'm going to say, art of the mid-1900s.
You know what I think might even be better than episode 1?
What's that?
Episode 2. And it's coming at you right now.
Yeah, I think you'll be able to smell it at home, too, if you just want to get a wonderful bottle of Hawaiian Tropic, Chip.
And this is not a product placement. They're not our sponsor yet. But I'm going to get some Hawaiian Tropic. Just to put it on, like dabble it under the nose even just a little bit. Just to to sniff it in, getting that vibe every day. Just we're sitting on the beach, buddy. We're sipping a Mai Tai, watching those hula girls like Greg Brady does. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. Man.
Yeah, we are going to talk about season 4, episode 2 of the Brady Bunch today. It's the second in their trilogy of Hawaii episodes. I've never seen them before. Chip has seen them apparently 100 to 200 times each.
Yes.
But it's informed a lot of how he views Hawaii, and just watching it has been so much fun for me.
Yeah. By the way, I was having dinner with my wife last night, as I do.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
As I do. Oh, yeah. I was actually, this is not product placement either. This is not a commercial. But I was actually having dinner at your favorite restaurant in Philadelphia.
Ooh.
Barrels.
Wow.
Kim and I were at Barrels. We were the only ones in the restaurant until the very end when another couple of ladies came in. Great Italian restaurant in Philly. Massive takeout, just like crazy takeout that they do. There's this little dining room in the back that you've been to, Thomas.
Yeah.
That like nobody really knows about or just forgets that it's there. And you can just go bring a bottle or two of wine, have some great Italian food. And we sat there for the entire meal besides the last 4 minutes, completely on our own. We had the place to ourselves, and it's great food. And so we were sitting there having, and that's the place where you told us your story of the last time you were in Hawaii, a great tale. And the topic came up that we were doing the Brady Bunch and that you've never seen it. Kim was aghast that you had never seen this. And she even admits, she's like, I know I'm not the biggest pop culture person, her being her. And she's like, but when I heard that Thomas didn't see the Brady Bunch, like she was just jaw dropped. But hey, that's all right. You're getting up to speed, and I appreciate that about you. You're making life changes. You're taking strides in 2025. You're watching the Brady Bunch, a 55-year-old television series, and we're coming up to so last episode we talked about episode 1 when they were Hawaii bound. Mike got the of course he got the job in Hawaii. They flew the whole family out, and they get to Hawaii. They find the little tiki doll, the taboo, if you will, and some weird stuff starts happening to him. There's some bad luck happening, culminating with the G-Man, Greg, him taking a vicious wipeout on a surfboard.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's jump into it. I got a couple of notes here, but so we talked last episode about Hawaii Bound season 4 episode 1 being completely unavailable.
Yeah. Scrubbed from the internet.
Yeah, it's unavailable, so we had to watch like a very low quality kind of whatever version we could find. The sound was terrible. The visuals weren't much better.
But this is the work that we do for you people out there in podcast land. We are doing the difficult work. We are searching for a back episode of the Brady Bunch, sitting down and watching it. We are watching it till our fingers are to the bone. Go ahead.
It was not easy to find, but I will say that watching the recap of last episode at the beginning of this one on Paramount Plus on a big TV with like a nice picture, you truly see how harrowing that surfboard crash really was. It looked like he banged his noggin right on a rock.
On some rocks. I know. That's the thing. I don't know if it was just seaweed or rocks, but I always read it as rocks growing up, and that's what I think it was. So, he took a dive. And so, by the way, if you're following along at home and you can't find episode 1, it's like we found a little episode, but just watch episode 2. They recap it pretty well.
I will say that Episode 1 had a lot more things that spoke to my heart in terms of being excited about Hawaii.
Don Ho.
It's got Don Ho. It's got beaches. It's got viewpoints. It's got the Royal Palace. It's got a statue of King Kamehameha.
Yes.
It's really got a lot of things that you probably would see if you wanted to go there and sightsee now. This is 50 years later. But boy, did Greg really take a heater to the head, it seems.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very unexpected ending to a very, mild episode. It was just, we thought this kid was dead.
Yeah.
And we pick up right where we left off.
And as somebody who's never seen the Brady Bunch, there's not a lot of dead kid episodes. Like, let me just say that. Like, maybe
I can only imagine.
maybe Tiger the dog goes missing. Somebody's sad because somebody said they had a lisp, or there's a funny mix-up. This is not the type of show, Thomas, where people die. I mean, it's not. It just doesn't happen. So this was very dramatic for this series. Like,
It's a very special episode.
we're 4 seasons in, and the eldest child, the firstborn, might be dead in the water, literally. And by the way, that narrator, just watch episode 2. The narrator at the beginning of he has nothing to do with the series. You never hear a narrator on any other episode. This is not some sort of Ron Howard in Arrested Development thing. So it's not like but they brought in some big gun with some deep 60s, early 70s voice, and just voiced the hell out of that, just to make it a little act like that deep voice.
Yeah, no, I think it's the guy. I'm willing to bet it's the same one. I have seen the opening to Dragnet, and I'm willing to bet it. It's like a similar tone. If not, if you can't get that guy, this is the guy you go to.
Yes.
To replicate that sound.
There's a guy too, and it wasn't him, but there's that guy, the In a World guy.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
The movie guy. And I want to say his name, it was because in the 70s, his name was it's something like Percy something. Do you know who I'm talking about? It's
I know.
Percy something, but he's the guy who I think did the Jaws, my favorite movie, the Jaws theme, and be afraid to be in the water, like that. But that's how dramatic this episode beginning was, with Greg just falling off that surfboard.
Yeah, no, he took it, and in that higher quality, what is clearly just old school standard definition, but much better than what we saw before.
Yes,
it really looks like he took it. So I got a heightened sense of drama watching that back, and then we quickly cut to the family dealing with Greg being potentially have just died.
Yes,
and we get him to the beach. And every time this young man shows a sign of being concussed, seriously injured, that's when we get that laugh track, baby.
The laugh track comes out hard. He's like, oh no, I can walk to the car, and then he starts walking towards the water.
He walked right into the ocean. Big laugh.
Hijinks ensues, and it was amazing how that. I would love to do a deep dive into the history of canned laughter, and because there are certain times where it's just thrown in completely inappropriately. Actually, and on the other end of that, so the Brady Bunch, give you a quick lesson. It went from I want to say 1969 until about 74, and then it was over. And then the Bradys did they got in that whole vibe of the variety show. It's like the Brady Variety Hour, where they song and dance stuff, where all of the kids came back except for, I want to say, Jan. She was like, no, I'm a serious actress. I'm out of here. And they got a new Jan. And they did that for a while. And then
it was like a reality show, a hosted.
No, like a Sonny and Cher,
okay. So they were
they're singing and dancing on stage,
doing little skits,
wearing doing the disco version of I'm Proud to Be an American or whatever, that type of, let's try to bring in I'm sure Star Wars, maybe, if they made it that far. I can't remember if they made it 77 or not, but it was a short-lived thing, but they did a couple episodes, and they did song and dance, a lot of LeMay and a lot of sequins and just that type of thing. So they did that, but then in the 80s, I think it was a couple of maybe TV specials they did, where it was the Brady Brides, I think, where all 3 daughters, of course, got married at the same time, I think, or whatever that was, And then in the late 80s, they brought it back. I think it was called The Bradys, and it was a 1 hour, I guess you would call it a dramedy, maybe soap opera kind of, but dramatic, but shot on film. The first one was shot on film, but no laugh track. And and they started it out by, and I'm going to admit, it is a watch that I watch every Christmas. It's from 87, 88, 89, A Very Brady Christmas. Okay? A Very Brady Christmas.
Sounds nice. Sounds light.
Right. And so they're now empty nesters,
Mm-hmm.
but all of the kids, they decide to fly all the kids back for Christmas. And most of them are married, some of them have kids, and they bring Alice back. That's a whole thing. Alice comes back too, to be their indentured servant. And then, but at some point we will watch this episode because you can see it's on some sort of streaming thing, but it's like a 2-hour TV movie or an hour and a half TV movie. And it's shot without a laugh track, but they still try to do, it's the same writing.
Yeah.
And like, about that, like Tom, like you've been a TV writer and a producer for years. Like there's pacing things and ways you write jokes, and certain jokes work on certain shows, but certain, and it's just like Carol trying to figure out what Mike got her for Christmas, being zany, being vapid, and saying a cute little thing, but there's just no laugh track. So it just seems like a crazed old lady with her husband just dealing with her early onset dementia. Like, I mean, that's what the first 20 minutes of Very Brady Christmas is, and it's beautiful.
I mean, that really does sound wild. Yeah, you gotta treat that show completely different than another one. Have you ever seen? It was a clip that went around a while ago. It's when the Big Bang Theory was happening.
Okay,
but like somebody stripped out the laugh track.
Yes, I think I saw that. Yeah,
yeah, and it's truly like what are we even watching here?
And that's what we watched for a good part of our childhoods. Like, it's just like a taser, like a bear in a cage. Like now, like get the whip out. Like, this is when you laugh. Bzz, this is it.
Yeah. No, it's a mechanism for getting away with things that are paced like jokes and sound like jokes, but boy, might not really be jokes. And every once in a while on some of the shows we used to do, you knew it was heading in a bad direction if somebody from the network was like, so we're thinking about before this goes to air, maybe we sweeten it with a laugh track.
Yeah, that is
sweeten it. An audio sweetening with a laugh. That is the kiss of death. You're like, wow, there really is nothing here.
The death knell, yeah.
Yeah. So it would be, but this one is like especially aggressive because it's not in a studio audience. Like, there's nobody there laughing. And I don't know if the regular Brady Bunch was on a set where they did have people
It was
watching.
on a set, but I'm 99% sure there was no studio audience. It was just,
And they just piped in. They just piped in the laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. A different time. But yeah, it's funny. It's like I can see it with my daughter. Like, we were watching a stand-up special the other day, Bill Burr's new special.
Yeah.
And just when she hears people clapping and laughing, she claps and laughs. She's not watching the TV. She has no idea what's going on. It's just like built into us at like a human level.
Yeah, it's Pavlov, man. Just
We're little fun monkeys with jobs, dude.
Yeah, and we all enjoy the same thing at the same exact moment. Mind control, baby. That's how they're getting us.
It does help. I mean, you've been in a club when rooms are hot, they're gonna laugh at anything.
Yeah, it's because it is that group think of like you get 200 strangers in a room, but then they connect somehow and they're all together laughing at the same thing. You can say anything and they laugh, and it really is crazy how that can happen. And then there's also the opposite effect where like they will decidedly not laugh at anything. Like, it just gets awkward. So then they, even if something is funny, they just like, boom,
Oh yeah.
I've seen those moments too. It's just where like something just goes weird and like they just decide that like, yeah, we don't do this anymore.
Yeah. But hearing that laughter, that's what keys you in socially, that it's okay to laugh. And they're bringing that to your house.
Especially when it is a concussed teenage boy on a beach in a foreign, not a foreign, but a distant land.
That is something else that like, it's like when things could be, because the TV people, they're always worried about things turning audience members off.
Right.
And like they could have, like, I can very distinctly see a meeting where somebody was just like, hey, listen, when Greg hits his head, it's kind of out of nowhere. The episode's been lighthearted. It's been fun. We need to,
There's a chance that they maybe got some hate mail that week. Do you know what I mean? Before the next episode goes out, like there could even be a situation where they're like, "Oh my God, my daughter was traumatized because she thinks Greg is dead," and then they have the next episode, and they're like, "We need to throw a laugh in here."
Yeah.
Even though they've already shot it, it's already been edited, but they're like, "He might die, so hey, let's giggle a little bit."
Yeah, and it's a laugh track, or like they use music in this show actually pretty well, I think. Or in the wackiest version of it, and they used a couple of these in the show too, is sound effects. Like you can put a cartoonish sound effect over something horrific, and it just feels like you're probably watching a cartoon.
Yeah,
it takes away that real sting of it. And I can't imagine this is a show that features. I'm guessing Cindy's like 5, 6 in these things.
probably somewhere around there. Yeah, that's when she started.
It's a show. It's a show for the whole family.
Oh, it's a children's. Yeah.
So they're trying to soften some of that stuff. So I get it, but just like watching back, knowing what we know about like traumatic head injuries, it is, and they're also like are very careful to be like, oh my gosh, this injury is so bad, but you can only see it from back here.
Right. Yeah, they're just like, yeah.
Yeah, they're just
Doctor.
like you're seeing him face straight at camera, and then people are behind him looking like, ooh, that looks really rough. But you know what it didn't knock out of him, Chip?
I have an idea. Go ahead.
It didn't knock the horniness out of this young man.
No, his horniness is still at an 11. He just doesn't take a break. His hormones are just coursing through his veins.
Yeah.
It's like the next scene, like we're going to take him to the doctor at the hotel. He's still wet and just like, cold and shaken and concussed. I think it's the next scene where he's like, I want to go look at some chicks. Like, he bounces back pretty quickly.
He's bikini hunting.
Yeah.
And I think it's genetic because his dad is horny as well.
Another
Always
hornball.
horny.
Always. Yeah. Yeah.
Always be horny.
Yep. ABH,
so
baby.
So they're leaving the beach. Alice puts Jan on duty for like cleaning up the area. Make sure we have everything.
Here's the thing about Jan. Jan just gets shit on constantly. that's her MO. She is the put upon sister, the middle child.
I was looking at this. She has really no other function in any of the episodes, and her big story point is the maid whose job it is to clean up says, Jan, why don't you do my job?
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
And Jan's like, all right. But she finds the taboo. And she brings it back. And to keep that thread going. And yeah, Greg, the second he gets out of the doctor's office, goes back to the beach where he is lying to a young woman, saying he's a local, and weaseling his way into getting his hands on her, his grubby, horny hands on her to get some suntan lotion going. And his brothers show up, spoil his fun. And then it somehow ends up with all three boys oiling up this stranger to them, this young lady.
Yep.
And the young lady is loving it. She says, wow, this is island hospitality. That's assault, brother.
It is. It was 100% as assault. And here's something interesting, Thomas.
Yep.
You brought that up. I heard you talk about that. And that scene was not in I think it's Pluto TV or whatever the streamer that I watch. You see Greg on the beach. You see him looking at the young blonde gal in the bikini. And then it just cuts to the next scene.
Wow.
So they cut that one out because it is three young boys slathering sunscreen on a girl in a bikini who did not necessarily ask for it. But I did go back and watch. So I found it on YouTube. I found just that scene on YouTube or somewhere and got to watch all the gory details.
It was a little shocking to see, but also not too separated from some of the disturbing scenes on I don't know if you're watching it or not, but this season's White Lotus has some familial, uncomfortable, lotiony, handsy scenes.
Okay, I've not seen it yet. I've not watched it yet, so no.
I think the Bradys in a strange way, might be a precursor to some of the most uncomfortable television ever made.
So you're saying White Lotus is a direct descendant of the Brady Bunch? You're putting it on.
It's basically the Brady Bunch without a laugh track.
See, I'm sold. Now I'm watching it. Now I'm 100% watching it.
Perfect. So to keep it moving, the boys are getting horny.
Yep.
With that teen, and the girls head over to a picnic at a different beach.
Yeah.
This is where we see the Taboo as power rear its head once again.
Do its magic.
And just one of the biggest spiders I've ever seen. I think it's a tarantula. Crawls into Jan's bag where the Taboo is, and now she's bringing a tarantula along for the ride for the rest of the day.
And I just love how I think it's like 7 times somebody's like, Jan, can I have something from your bag?
Yeah.
And she goes to reach in, and then somebody else just cuts Jan off too. They're like, no, I got it. Here's my camera. Here's my handkerchief. Here's whatever. Yeah. But they still go to her, and she just digs into that bag every time and just misses that tarantula.
It's so funny because I saw one of these clips. I saw a clip of the first time, like it's they're looking through a viewfinder and somebody needs to wipe the lens.
Right, yeah.
So I saw that clip out of context, and I thought it was just like, oh, this girl's useless, because they're like, can somebody get me a tissue? And she's like, yeah, I'll get you a tissue. And then the mom's like, never mind, I've got a tissue.
Yep.
Knock it off, Jan. And I was just like, oh, they're showing that this... I was like, are they showing that this girl's unappreciated, that she's feeling bad? Like, I didn't know that. I didn't see the spider. And now that I see it, I'm just like, okay, yeah, she is useless. But thank goodness in this case, because she'd be touching a spider if she had some functionality here.
And this is as somebody who's worked in television for years, Thomas, you know this, that they were actually a lot more forgiving in the early 70s. There are certain things you can't say nowadays, one of them being the F word. They would just say, and hold your ears, listeners, but they would just say, it just throughout the entire series, at least once an episode, fuck off, Jan. And they would just say that to her and just be like, she's like, hey, I brought the rolls in for dinner. And they're like, fuck off, Jan. And then and she runs out crying. That's and then cue laugh track. That's how most episodes end. Like, they're like, oh, Bobby won the soapbox derby, and everybody's like, yeah. And Jan's like, congratulations, Bobby. And they just all turn in unison and just yell, fuck off, Jan. And then she just quietly walks out off scene. And you just hear a huge laugh track, cue the applause, and credits.
And you say this actress didn't want to come back for the subsequent.
Yeah, you wonder why. And by the way, I will say, I think it's usually a different girl. I think the guys have always come back. There's never been like a fake Peter or a fake whatever. But Jan didn't come back for that. Cindy didn't come back for the Very Brady Christmas and like that iteration. And then I think there was something where Marcia didn't come back for. So, yeah. So the gals all had their own moment of like, we're out.
Just the guys are having more fun in this show, at least
they
in
really
Hawaii.
Are. Yes. Yeah, they really are.
It's like the boys are out there just feeling up Taurus, and the girls are having spider picnics with mom and the maid. Yeah.
Spider picnics. That's the episode. That's the title of this episode, by the way. Spider picnics. Great. By the way, spider picnics. My favorite by far is Spider Picnics. My favorite Wilco album.
It's very relatable. So I did a little bit of research, and tarantula. I mean, this is horse. Tarantulas are not native at all to Hawaii. There's no population there, and it's actually even illegal to bring one to Hawaii. So this was all staged. They don't have like a dangerous or intimidating spider population at all. It's one of the nicest things. There are, however, a handful of black widows.
Okay.
And that's kind of it in terms of.
Okay, I thought. Okay, here's my ignorance, because I spent a lot of time as a child watching the Brady Bunch, not studying science.
Yeah.
What is a black widow? That's not a spider?
No, black widow is a spider.
It is
so
a spider.
Black widow. It has like a little red hourglass on the tum-tum.
Oh, right. Yeah. But it is a spider, though, right?
No, it's a spider.
Yeah.
It's poisonous, and I was surprised to see that they were there. But like, especially in dry areas, there has been like a breed of black widow that has taken hold and got some kind of resilience on the islands there.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like there's not a lot of things that'll get you there. There's not a lot of poisonous stuff. There's, they had to invent a situation where the biggest, most visual spider in the Western Hemisphere ended up in Jan's backpack. And it's never really addressed. But like you don't need to worry. If you're coming with us to Hawaii, there's a very low chance you're going to find a tarantula in your bag.
No tarantulas in your bags. See, just put that in the pro column of why you're coming to Hawaii this Thanksgiving. Getting away from your family, getting away from the cold, going to Hawaii, hanging out with some new friends, some old friends, and no spiders, no tarantulas at least.
So the middle child ends up with the taboo.
Yeah.
He gets it from Jan and kind of
Peter,
falls asleep with it.
Yep.
Wakes up, tarantula on his chest. This thing is bringing some bad mojo.
Yeah. Yeah. He's here's a joke you won't get. This tarantula is more cursed than Oliver. See, Thomas, if you watch the series, that would have just killed. I mean, we could put a laugh track in right now, but we don't need it because everybody listening or watching at home knows, if they're a Brady fan, they know that that's hilarious. But yes, a lot of mileage out of these 8 little legs. A lot of mileage.
Yeah, and we're coming to the end of the spider arc.
Yeah. Sadly,
they end up knocking it off of his chest. Dad comes in and is like, hey, we just need to put this thing outside, and very calmly gets a little bag, scoots the spider in there, and I think he even makes mention like, it's a good thing your mother's not here. She would hate this.
She hates spiders, yeah.
And then he takes the bag with the spider into his room, and his wife thinks that it's a jewelry gift she asked, like has been dropping hints that she would like.
God. Oh, God.
And I mean, just very not so subtly kind of demanding, like, this trip is great, but get me some bling.
Need some
get
bling,
me some
baby.
jewels.
Yeah.
Because you know how women love jewelry.
Women be shopping.
Women be shopping.
Women be shopping.
So women like jewelry. Dudes horny.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the basic MO for these character arcs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those were the original lyrics to the theme song. They did have to change them because of the censors.
Women be shopping. This guy is horny.
Yep. Yeah.
And he used it to make 3 boys of his own.
Boom. They got a lot of kids. Yeah.
Yeah, they're making babies out there. Maybe he is horny. I don't know. It makes sense. There's a lot of kids around.
Yeah.
But anyways, after being like, it's a good thing your mother isn't here, he brings it in there, and then instead of admitting he didn't get her jewelry, he just lets her open it.
Yeah. All right, here you go.
Big spider in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was not the pendant she was hoping for, Chip.
No, it was not. And I a little comeuppance, I think. I think he took some pride in doing that. He got a little like, shut up about the coral bracelet. I'm going to get you the goddamn pendant. Here's a goddamn spider. Go to sleep. Shut up, Carol. Yeah.
So this is
and I feel bad for her because it's like, obviously those are the writers, but like, it's just, the more you watch it, the more you realize that it's just like this cute back and forth banter that this husband and wife had for 5 seasons is it is some, like, I watched it so much as a kid and I was like, oh, they have a great relationship, and it's just the most tedious banter. Just watching it again as an adult, as somebody who's been, writing for TV now, it's just like, oh, this is horrific, and it's the same thing over and over again too. And then to watch A Very Brady Christmas, which happens 20 years later, to know that they're alone in the house and they're still talking like this is exhausting.
The whole thing's super exhausting, and we're about to get to the point where we once again just have a big spotlight showing on the fact that girls are just there because they happen to be there.
Absolutely.
And this is a man's world. This is a boys' trip. I know for, like, just in my mind, I can see it. Somebody's like, we've got to get these girls involved somehow in the plot.
Yeah.
In the plot of what's going on, they went on a picnic. They picked up a spider. They brought it back. The boys have to deal with that. And now, for the next leg of the episode, how are we going to get them involved?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have Greg go to his sisters and say, I have a plan. They found out that the taboo was cursed. A local man gave them some background on it, thanks to the guide saying you need to go talk to this guy if you believe this stuff is true. He says the taboo is very powerful. It's magical. Anybody who touches it is going to have troubles unless they put it back in its rightful spot next to the tomb of the dead king or the dead chief that it was like meant to protect. So he told them like to this sacred haunted place to go to, and they needed to do it or else they were going to be cursed forever, basically.
Yeah.
So in order to get the girls involved, Greg goes and says, hey, sisters, we need
Soul
you.
Sisters, yeah.
We need, a very trainish way of starting a conversation. We need you to cover for us while we go do this thing. And they're like, okay. And that's their involvement in the big caper that we're moving on to.
And they're just done. That's the last time you see them that episode.
And it's also funny because like, we need you to cover for us. We need you to tell them that we're just out sightseeing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you could have just told them that you're out sightseeing.
Sightseeing, yeah.
If that's an option, just do that. You don't need to bring them into this.
Yeah, I'm so glad that these three boys did not grow up to join the CIA. They'd just be telling everybody just all their plans. Yeah.
Yeah, and unnecessary, like, loose lips, sinking ships, and really not getting him any better result. But this sends them on their way. They get to the other side of the island. They find this area. At one point in time, they get worried about, like, we're deep in the woods. Like, how are we going to find our way back? They decide to use Bobby's popcorn as, like, a Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb situation. Mm-hmm. And then they finally find an ominous cave, and they wander inside it. And as they're wandering inside it, music is getting more and more intense, and you see a man following them in.
Like the back of a man. Like just a lumbering, like Manos Hands of Fate, lumbering, ominous. And like he even like walks into camera frame like when you're not expecting him, just the back of him. And it's pretty horrifying.
It's pretty horrifying. And then they take special care, I think, to make sure that you notice that this man's clothes are not clean.
No.
So this is kind of where we end the episode. It's a cliffhanger. We don't know, at least I don't know, I haven't seen it before, what's going to happen. Is this guy friendly? Is he a murderous psychopath? I think it appeared to be a white man.
Yes.
Like just and I'm just like, is this an unhoused person? Is this a crazy person? Is this somebody that got lost in the forest and is just looking for people? But he is definitely following them silently into a cave that we're not sure they're going to be able to get out of.
No. And by the way, you finally do see his face. And for any Hollywood fans, you realize that it is the face of Mr. Vincent Price, famed horror star of House of Wax and House on Haunted Hill, all the houses once, and of course he went on to. Do you know what Vincent Price's probably biggest fame in the 80s was? His
I only
voice.
know him because Bill Hader did an impression of him on SNL.
Yeah. Well, he's also the guy that does the scary vocals in Michael Jackson's Thriller. Like that.
That's a great vocal.
Hounds of Hell. Like that, like that's Vincent Price doing that. And then the laugh at the end. Ah, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
That is Vincent Price, the man in the cave.
Oh, that's a creepy dude. I like it.
That is a creepy, creepy dude who, of horror fame. So you're just like,
Knowing what we know now, who's a creepier dude? Michael Jackson or Vincent Price?
I mean, for following three boys into a cave, knowing what we know now, I'm going to take my chance with the tarantulas, with the the tarantulas that are native to Hawaii, just all over the place. I would take my chances with those. Over the
Okay.
two. Yeah.
Over Michael or Vincent.
Over Michael or Vincent. Yeah. Yeah.
But I do think at this point in time, being followed into a cave by Vincent Price or Michael Jackson as three young boys, I got to take Price.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Because Price is a little more lumbering, too. You know, Jackson was agile up until the end.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, he's a dancer.
Yeah.
That's reflexes.
He's moonwalking through those things. He's yelling. He can do that thing where, like, they're in one cave, right? But he just, like, leans over at a 45-degree angle and then just comes right back and, like, leans over, grabs Bobby, picks him up. You know, like, the man's versatile.
And I mean, for the love of God, the kicks, Chip.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
telling me
the
this guy
kicks.
wasn't doing any kind of martial arts training? The kicks.
The kicks were just incredible. Yeah, so this is you'd have to take Vincent Price. You'd have to
Yeah,
take
the
Vincent Price.
price is right.
the price is certainly right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so that brings some good context. 'Cause I did not know this is a famous person. I
Yeah.
didn't know he is a horror icon.
Yeah.
I didn't know that just his face at this time sets an expectation, sets a tone. VP is in the house.
I mean,
Y'all
can you
better watch
imagine
out.
being a 9-year-old child in 1972-ish, whenever 72, 73, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And just, first of all, knowing last Friday was Greg almost died on a surfboard. You finally recover from that. And then you're like, all right, everything's smooth sailing again. Because literally, this is one of the most bubblegum shows on earth. And then all of a sudden, at the end, not only Greg, but the other two boys are in the cave. And now Vincent Price is going to murder them.
I think this would have like terrible ramifications on the tourism industry in general in Hawaii for a while. Like,
Yeah.
you see all these bad things happening. It's a cursed land. The locals don't believe in it, but we're seeing this is clearly a cursed object. But the one thing that general population, especially at that time, seemed to have is everybody was too horny to care. Because there's bikinis on those beaches. You're gonna, you've got hula instructors that are absolute 12 and a halves.
Yeah.
And you're going to get kissed on the cheek by a beautiful local woman wearing a bikini and a skirt the second you get off that plane.
Right.
It's a lot for a perv to love.
Exactly. So then it's like you hear those stories about they brought in mongoose to get rid of the snakes.
Yeah.
It's like they got Vincent Price to get rid of the pervs. You know, like that's kind of what
He drove the pervs out of Hawaii.
he drove the pervs out of Hawaii, but now Hawaii is overrun by Vincent Prices. A lot of Vincent Price is just running around going, yes, well, I do love this poke bowl, and it's but there is a lot of charm to that. Okay. If I could go,
There's a lot of specificity to that. I don't know if it's charm. Boy, Chip, episode 2. What a dooz.
I am all a Twitter right now. I am scared. I am frightened. I am on the edge of my seat. These 3 boys are in danger. I am beside myself. I don't know what to do with the rest of my life. The only remedy for this ailment is to watch episode 3.
And it's coming up right now. Chip, it is a big episode.
Yeah.
It is the last episode in our Brady Bunch Hawaii trilogy.
I mean, how legendary did we get in the first 10 episodes of this podcast? We just blew through the 3-episode arc of the Brady Bunch where they go to Hawaii, just like we're going this November. It's bittersweet. I'm excited to jump into our final episode, but then it's gonna be over. But we got a lot more things on the horizon. But that's right. But I'm sad to be done with the Bradys.
I'm sad to be done with the Bradys in Hawaii.
In general, though, you're not overly sad.
No. But like, I wish there was more. If they did a whole season, I'd watch the whole season.
It still blows my mind, and this needs to be said. I made a reference a couple episodes to Vincent Price in the Tiki Cave with the boy, where he tied up the boys in the Brady Bunch episode. And you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never seen the Brady Bunch. And it still just blew me away. So I was like, we got to watch. Let's find the first 3 episode, the 3-episode arc of the Brady Bunch, going to Hawaii. We watched it together. The last 2 episodes, we uncovered those 2 episodes. Today we're doing the last one. And you are not a Brady Bunch fan, my friend.
No, I think it's just a time thing, Chip. This is a 50-year-old television show.
It really is.
And, I'm living in a TikTok world. You got to keep it moving fast.
Exactly.
You got to keep it punchy. It's got to, and things generally have to make sense. And we're just less pervy.
Yes, a lot less pervy than the Brady Boys in this episode.
It's fun to see the horniness.
It
is
really
just
is.
the casual horniness of just apparently the American family in 1950 has been a hoot.
Yes. Yeah. It's if you don't like, if you haven't watched Brady Bunch episodes recently, like, you think very wholesome, very whatever. And like, those were the first 2 seasons, like 69, 70. And then the groovy area gets in and everybody is just crazy horny, just crazed. And it is the parents, the kids, Alice. It is shocking. It is shocking to watch. And it was on full display on the beaches of Waikiki in these episodes.
But it was so fun to spend time there. And, we'll talk about maybe some of the shortcomings of this last episode.
Sure.
Vincent Price, who you had to explain to me who that is, plays
Legend.
one of the most unhinged characters I've ever seen on a television show.
Well cast.
Well cast, but like his character arc and like what you think he could do, what he might do. I mean, they just got you going up and down. You think he's like, oh, maybe he's not that bad, and they're like, maybe he's gonna kill some kids in a cave
With a spear. Exactly.
with a spear,
or just leave them for dead. That's almost the scarier one.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough way to go for sure.
Yeah, I'd
That's
rather
a tough
go
way to
spear
go.
than being
And
left for dead.
I believe he actually threatens them with both of those things.
Oh, he 100% does. But then America is saved by the laugh track. Because once we go a little dark, then they just throw that laugh track on and we're like, he's not really going to kill him with a spear. And then it's like, and everything's okay.
Absolutely. And I can't wait. We're going to have a dedicated chunk to talking about the Bradys.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to you about something really quick. 1923 just had its series finale. It was the last episode in 1923, the latest prequel of the Yellowstone series. And I'm not
this
gonna,
is the Kevin Costner.
the
I have
Kevin
not seen this.
Costner. So like,
Okay.
it's at his ranch, right?
Okay.
It's his ranch that we've seen 5 seasons of or whatever in current day.
Mm-hmm.
But this happens in, as the name suggests, 1923.
Yes.
And I'm not going to get into too much of it, but there is such a direct inverse to what we will be doing in Hawaii in November. And I was just thinking about it, watching it. It shows that frostbite and exposure to cold is no joke. We are talking black fingers, people losing limbs to this severe, bitter cold. And as I'm watching that, and just like, we are going to be in such the opposite position when we're in Hawaii.
We are. Yes, those little toes in the sand. It's going to be great. And I would assume when these people, these horrible situations befall them in, I'm saying, 1923, like in the cold of winter, I'm assuming there's no laugh track.
There's no laugh track, but it would have softened it.
Yeah,
it would have made things a lot softer. There were actually, some moments of levity, a couple of lines that got you going, but by and large, I just can't tell you how miserable the cold looks.
Yeah.
And just knowing that you can make a choice and escape it, if only for a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
How exciting, Chip.
I'm so excited. And by the way, what is that? Wyoming?
Montana.
Yellowstone? Montana. Okay. So just Montana wintertime, the 1920s, just to put you in that man, and then just to be able to come out of it. In 2025, we're going to Hawaii. It's the greatest. It's gonna make it so much sweeter, I'm sure.
You can't escape the cold, and that's something that people will be dealing with in November.
Yeah.
It is a tremendous benefit for the whole operation.
I'm just so psyched. Do we want to jump into the episode, or what's?
Yeah,
You
let's
wanna
do
this?
it.
All right, Brady Bunch. We talked about the first 2 episodes. In the last 2 episodes, they've been to Hawaii. We have the narrator again, I believe, right? Is the
Yeah,
narrator
oh, yeah.
back? Yeah. And what a I think you said the dragnet narrator, just nice baritone voice gentleman that you don't see in any other episodes of the Brady Bunch, just when they're in Hawaii, just recapping all of the havoc that has been heaped upon the Brady family since they've gotten to this tropical paradise.
It's absolutely beautiful. And as somebody who's worked on a television show or two, I'm just in awe of the amount of running time they are just eating up with this recap. And then they have a beautiful minute of that song where there's a lovely lady, there's a man named Brady. I clocked it at 3 minutes of just intro and recap.
That's half a TV show nowadays. That is half a TV show.
And then there's a minute of credits at the end. So we're cutting 4 minutes off, and do the math. It adds up. 10 episodes in. If you were doing that, it's going to be 40 minutes. That's almost 2 episodes worth of half-hour content. So hats off to them for getting away with it, and for America for dealing with that. And
It was the
not
70s,
demanding
man.
more.
Things were slower back then. They're just like, let us have it. We just need to slip into our evening. And
And also, I want to say something. I was watching this on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
And they have a splash screen that, when you click on the episode, when it's loading, they show you a visual that's supposed to go along with the episode, get you primed up, but hide the fact that they're loading something. Mm-hmm. And the splash screen on this particular episode ruins the whole ending.
Spoiler alert. It just blows it out of the water. This is a guy who has never seen the Brady Bunch. He didn't know if those boys were going to be left dead in the cave, and it totally ruins the ending.
It really did. So I went in there with a skewed perspective. I knew how things were going to end, so I couldn't go all the way to the edge with the suspense. But we'll get to that at the end. We won't spoil it here.
I give that a Paramount minus.
That's a Paramount minus.
That's a Paramount minus, buddy. Yeah,
absolutely. Vincent Price plays crazy in the scariest ways in this thing, and he plays it from different angles.
Yeah, he does.
As an actor, you call it, changing your intention, coming at things from a different perspective. But
range.
He is up and down. He is up and down. There's moments where you're like, he lives in this cave and he just wants to spook everybody out of there. And then there's moments where you're like, he is trying to leverage these children for money, ransom, personal gain, and he does not care if they lose their life in the process. There's moments where you think he's going to murder them with a weapon.
Yep.
There's moments when you think he's going to tie them up and leave them in an abandoned cave to die.
Yes.
To die of starvation and exposure to the elements.
On a primetime television show for families in 1972.
It is wild. And I have to imagine, I didn't get too much. Would Scooby-Doo be around at this time?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So, this was a very Scooby-Doo meets Hardy Boys ending right here.
Yeah.
They're just, it's that scary thing, pretending to be a ghost, pretending to be the ancient, god, Hawaiian god or whatever, and then pulling the mask off, realizing it's just a crazy man. And that's all it is, who just has some financial gain that he wants to get. And it is very, very Scooby-Doo-ish. No talking dogs, unfortunately.
Yeah, but there's something cartoonish about the danger. And I was like, maybe that was in the zeitgeist. People have watched these shows enough, people in peril, but you don't take it too seriously. So it starts off on his character arc. Vincent only wants to scare them. It's like the first thing we hear, he's kind of watching the boys move around his cave, and he has this idea that he says out loud, which should let you know he's an insane person.
Well, he beg to differ. He's not talking to nobody. He's talking to his friend Oliver.
We haven't met Oliver yet.
Yeah.
But he says that, and I quote, That's it. Scare them out of here. So he came up with the idea. There's some people in his place. I have an idea. I'll scare them out. He says it verbally while trying not to be heard by them, I assume. They're right in the cave next door.
And caves are echoey.
He starts creaking a hinge.
Yep. Yeah.
He throws a rock in there. The boys are rolling with this. They're just like, no, maybe it was you shuffling your feet. What was that? It was nothing. You guys are being weird. But we've set the stage. It's kind of, and I thought it was nice. It was like a pressure release. I was
it's
like,
fun,
I get it.
It's spooky, but we're okay. He just wants them out. Yeah.
He just.
By the way, he does talk about how well he hid the cave in the previous episode, and he was like, I hid this cave. How did you find it? But then like. He obviously didn't do that great of a job. 3 boys and then their parents from the mainland just wander in off of a bus and find this cave. Like, if you're really that concerned with people getting in your cave, do a better job of camouflaging it, Vincent.
Well, I mean, how do you hide a cave?
A little brush, a little maybe like a little like hanging some beads that look like ivy. You know, I
get it. You can hide the opening perhaps.
The opening to a cave, yeah.
Camouflage it a little bit.
Yeah.
The boys are wandering around. This guy just wants to scare him out. That's fine. Mom and Dad are back at the hotel worried.
Yeah.
They're just like, where are the boys? And truth be told, they're 3 boys who went out to do a little sightseeing in Hawaii. And they're not even really that late. It's just a little bit behind. But we're starting to worry. They are their children.
Yep.
Back in the cave, the boys keep running into dead ends. They're lost.
And it's the physical work of these kids. It's just they're shuffling their feet. It's like 4th graders in a play in a cafeteria of like, we're going to do some stage fighting right now. Or I hit a dead end and like, let's do the feet shuffle thing. I mean, it is comical and I loved it. It's one of my favorite parts of the episode.
Yeah. What does it physically look like to visually see that there's no exit in this room? It's like a lot of, just stopping, freezing. A tremendous acting exercise. And I'm surprised they all didn't win Emmys for the
shocked
for the exercise. But here's where Vincent really starts to ramp up the crazy. He has a big head statue, and I assume it was been on the island for years and years and years, that he is talking to, and he has named it a modern day English name, Oliver.
Yeah. It's his buddy. It's his pal.
It's his pal. It's his best friend, only friend, his confidant, and somebody he feels like he needs to keep up to speed on all the events in his life.
They are the golden girls of this cave.
Yes. So
he's just talking to this tiki statue, calling him Oliver, and which does it comedically it relieves some of that pressure valve, but also it is a crazy man talking to an inanimate object that he has named.
For me, this turns the tension way up. I mean, this is an unhinged person. He is not living in the real world. Somebody who wants to protect their home, his cave. Somebody who just wants to protect their private space. I get that. Shoo people out, get them out of here. But somebody who has left the realm of reality and is willfully talking to inanimate objects.
Yeah.
That is a scary person. That is the person that I do not want to be in a cave with if I'm a young boy.
No. Or even a gentleman, a man of age. I don't want to be in a cave with that guy.
No, not at all. And I think this is one of the things that truly scares me in real life, Chip. Like, I understand there's bad people that want to do bad things, but like I can kind of wrap my head around what they're doing, and that means maybe I can make a decision that will help me outsmart them, that will help me outmaneuver them. Like a sane person who just wants to do a bad thing, there's a little bit of an element of logic that you can figure out. With a person who is living in a cave and talking to a statue, you never know what they're going to do.
No. And that's the beauty of the height of this episode is, boy, the Bradys have never faced anything like this before. And they're falling into the clutches of a crazy person.
Yeah. And boy, do the parents really not rise to the occasion when given the opportunity.
Nope.
At this point, the younger brothers start to express some regret. Like, maybe we shouldn't have come in here. Greg takes it very personally and calls them wimps, basically.
Yeah.
He's like, you're just saying that because you're scared. Yeah. And they're like, we're not scared. And then he's like, well, then I'm going to go explore this cave over here and you guys stay by yourself. And they're like, we're scared. We're scared. This is when Vincent Price comes in with the scariest remarks so far. So at first we thought just wants to scare him out.
Yep. Fine.
Yeah, it's not bad. Secondly, we find out he's an absolute nutter.
Yes.
He's talking to statues. He's a crazy person. And now he comes in with the remark, great, they're scared. It's time to finish the job.
I mean, I love people who finish things, but I don't know what this job is, and I'm not excited about it.
To me, that is a direct threat.
Yep.
To murder these children.
3 young children. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
In a cave. Yeah.
Yeah. It's devastating stuff. It's really like, it is so intense for the vehicle that we are watching the story in.
Yeah.
I was on the edge. I couldn't believe they were going these directions. Back at the hotel, the girls are trying to decide, do we tell or not? Are we going to tattle? We promised we wouldn't tell. The boys might be in danger. Apparently, this is a big theme in the show.
So many episodes about not lying, telling the truth, but also not being a snitch. Don't be a tattletale. There's a whole thing with Cindy early on where she was tattling on everybody, and it's just like snitches get stitches. Don't do this, but also sometimes snitches get rewarded. So it is a very mixed message that's coming to young American kids in the early 70s. Should I tell or should I not?
And there was a big push. Like, I remember this. I felt it socially when you're a kid to not tattle, to not snitch, even if somebody could be in significant trouble. There was like a altruism about sticking close with your friends.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's fun to see it through this lens. And side note, this is the only function the girls have in this whole basically arc of episodes.
Yeah, the girls really don't. It's the boys doing the heavy lifting. The girls really got written out a lot of this. And I hope to their credit, I would hope for their part that they were able to just enjoy, the actresses were able to enjoy the beaches of Waikiki at that point because, man, they did not do a lot of work in this.
I would love to think that it was just a big flex. They're like, listen, we'll go to Hawaii. We'll do a couple of your little scenes, but we're going to be enjoying ourselves. Have fun working, you bozos.
Exactly, yeah.
I have a feeling it was less good as that.
Yes.
It was probably just like, shut up. We'll let you know.
Sit in your trailer. Yep.
Yeah, sit in your trailer. We'll let you know when it's time to do your thing. But yeah, their only function is to be there, know something, and decide if they're going to tell it or not.
Exactly.
All right, now we're back in the cave, and this is where Greg gets brave.
Yeah.
He's heard enough. He's heard enough rumblings behind the scene. He knows somebody's in there with him. And instead of cowering, he wants to find out what pile of crap he's stepped in. So he comes out and shouts, "We know someone's in here. Come out."
Yeah.
That's when Vincent Price, dressed in full tribal mask with a grotesque huge head, long white hair, big showing teeth, pops out of a coffin, Chip.
A coffin. A casket in a cave.
Coffin. And the boys run for their life because this is the most terrifying thing you can even imagine.
Yeah, okay, and to their credit, yes, of course. If I even just saw a coffin in a cave, I'm running away.
It's
regardless
such bad
of
news.
If somebody pops out of it. Yeah.
By
the way, I was at a restaurant with my good friend Anna and Mike and my wife Kim. We were at this great Italian restaurant in Philly the other night, and right next to us was the bread station where the bus boys were like getting the amazing, like great breads to like put on the table. But it was just a casket it was just a bread coffin. It was this beautiful wooden hutch kind of situation, but it was a casket that they would just open and just pull delicious bread out of. And I was like, this is much more pleasant than a crazy old man in a mummer's outfit scaring three boys.
I have a question. So the bread's in the coffin.
Yep.
Was the butter cream-ated?
Tommy, it was. I love
All right.
it. I love it. Yes.
We're fired. It's earlier. That's pretty good for me. It's like, early in the morning here.
Yeah.
But not early enough to beat Vincent Price popping out of a casket.
You gotta wake up pretty early in the cave to do that.
And this is, you have no sense of time in a cave.
No.
There's no natural light.
It's like a casino. Yeah.
This is also where just the laugh track. The laugh track goes wild. These boys run for their life. This man wants to kill them. He's a big nutter, insane, and he goes, "Darn it, they went the wrong way." Apparently, he wanted them to go one direction. They went another direction. Huge laugh track.
Yeah. Which also exit signs. I know it's a cave, but let's have some fire regulations here. Like just a nice exit sign. Glowing in the cave. He's got all those torches. Help the kids out. If you really want them out, show them where the exit is.
I mean, if we're really thinking about it, the exit sign is not the only place this is not up to code.
No.
You have to imagine there's no working restrooms. There's no running water.
No.
The only thing we know for a fact is there is some means by which you could heat up a plate of beans.
We definitely know that. The beans were heated many times in this episode alone.
Oh my goodness. So the laugh track comes in, and then he vows to Oliver that he will get rid of them another way and grabs a spear, Chip.
Yeah. Yes.
He grabs a weapon.
After talking to his inanimate friend.
And this is the next line after "darn it, they went the wrong way." Laugh track. And then basically he's like, "I'm going to murder them, stone friend." No laugh track.
No.
It's so out of place. And also, I think add a little realism. If you're going to be doing a laugh track in a cave, I got to have a little reverb, a little echo on those laughs.
Echo in the cave because, that studio audience is in there with them. Thank you, Thomas. Yeah. You're a better Foley artist than I am. I will say that.
It's there's some holes in this laugh track scheme.
There really is, yeah.
But I really do love it. I think it's fun that it's there. It's fun to have some space from that being something we see anymore, and then go back and just be like, oh yeah, we are just little monkeys. We're little monkeys, and when we hear people laugh, when we smell something we put on at the beach, we feel like maybe we're at the beach.
Yeah.
So laugh tracks work. I mean, this is a smell laugh track. That's what we're doing here.
It really is, yeah.
And it's starting the day off great, bud.
It really is.
At this point, the girls tattle. They tell mom and dad. Mom and dad are disappointed. But basically, we won't follow along with the parents anymore. The girls are done. The parents are retracing all the steps the boys took to get to this cave. So they're going to go talk to the old timer from the construction site who still believes the old stories that told them where to go. They get the same information from him. They go out there, and while that is happening, the boys get captured.
Okay, they're tied up in a cave at this point. This is the most Scooby-Doo Hardy Boys thing going on right now. They're literally tied up in a cave with a crazy man with a spear.
As an old man, how do you tie up three young boys, one of which is like 17? How old do you think Greg is?
He's a man. Yeah, he's a man. He is basically of age. He could overtake this. Although I will say Vincent Price, large man, larger than I realized, big lumbering man. But he's also he's an aged gentleman. It's like, I don't know if it's like a Blair Witch stare at the wall kind of situation, but he apparently somehow tied these boys up one by one.
If you think about it, it's one by one, and the only way you do that is with threats.
Yes.
He has a weapon. They don't. It's too much to put in the episode, but it was probably something like, I'm holding my spear up to your little brother. You tie one portion of your arm up.
Yep.
And just like using a sharp blade to really force them into doing these things. It's terrifying. These boys have been through absolute horror.
One of the other themes is that these boys were raised to respect their elders. So they're not the worldliest kids in the world, okay? They're fish out of water. They're like, well, if the gentleman says to wait here to be tied up, I better wait here to be tied up. He obviously has some good intentions for us because he is an elderly man.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that explains what happens later. He's the oldest person on this show.
Yes, by far.
And everybody kind of is willing to look the other way, given the benefit of the doubt, all the way through this insane journey and this insane thing he's doing.
Yeah.
He's an absolute nut. And at this point, he's got him tied up. He accuses them of finding the taboo in this cave.
Yeah, the little tiki doll, the taboo doll. He's like, you found it here. You stole it from me, boys. And they're like, no, we found it at the construction site.
Yeah, and he does not believe them. For what reason? No clue.
No. Yeah.
But this is where we kind of start to find out his origin story, how he got to this cave, what he's really into. He is a disgraced professor.
I mean, right there. RateMyProfessor.com was not a thing back then, but probably very few stars. This man, he's from the world of academics. Like, right there, if I'm Greg and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm a disgraced professor, I would have ripped that rope off and strangled the man right there. He's a college professor. Come on.
He didn't get there because he got real good at jujitsu or something.
No. He was lecturing about about
archaeology.
About archaeology. I mean, come on. He is Indiana Jones without any of the cool parts. He is Iowa Jones. That's who this guy is.
He never got the big break. He even talks about it. He's just like, one of my colleagues went left. I went right. We were looking for the same thing. We were working together. He found it. I didn't. He didn't have the success he wanted to. So now he's like, I'm going to take what I know, these ancient artifacts, and I'm cashing in on them.
Yeah.
If I can't have the prestige, I can have the money.
Yeah.
And you guys are standing between me and my money. At the end of the day, it's a money grab because there was no respect given. And it's so insane that in that world, it's like how you get prestige, how you get the respect of your peers is to find beautiful things that somebody else made and take them.
And steal them. Yeah. This episode is just a prequel to Pawn Stars. That's all this is. Is just he's taking these things and being like, what can I get for this? And they're like, we'll give you $5,000. And he's like, I'm rich in 1972 with that money.
Oh,
and that's his end game.
Can you imagine?
Do you think, by the way, do you think he would sell Oliver or is he keeping Oliver?
Oh, I mean, it's tough because he runs hot and cold on all these things.
He really does, yeah.
I'm inclined to believe that he would sell Oliver. But at the same time, like, who knows? Like, they might have a physical relationship. He might be married to Oliver. We don't know what this guy's doing when the lights go off,
And I don't know what the statutes in the state of Hawaii are either. So I'm not going to comment on that. And by the way, Oliver is the name that he gives to his tiki friend in season 4. In season 5, spoiler alert, Thomas, there is cousin Oliver who shows up, the little boy who is the cousin of the Brady kids, who happens to be a jinx, who's bad luck. That's the running joke. So some writer had a kid named Oliver or just liked the name Oliver, and boy, they use that name a lot in this series.
Well, it sounds like somebody might have hated an Oliver. There might have been
maybe
Oliver Twist situation running around his life.
My grade school bully was named Oliver, so I'm going to make him a tiki doll and a shitty little kid who is just a jinx. Yeah.
Yeah. Or just like a little nephew that won't stop talking about planet facts, the solar system.
The worst.
She's like, you know how many moons Saturn has?
Yeah.
And it's like, get out of here, bud.
Leave. Yeah.
That was definitely me. Remember just loving facts, learning facts, and just like really thinking it was a valuable commodity to share them with people?
Yeah. And this is before the internet, so there was some value to it, just a little bit of value. But like,
Yeah.
I know what the capital of Egypt is. Yeah, I know what the longest river in the world is. And people, we thought that was cool, and we just realized too late that facts do not matter at all anymore. Facts just don't matter.
We're in the post-fact era. You can look it up. You can look up anything. You can find out a real fact. You can find out a fake fact.
Yeah.
For the most part, it doesn't matter. It's not going to change your life.
No.
I never need to know what the capital of anything is.
No, not at all.
Give me a fake capital. See if I care. It's not going to, move 1 inch of humanity one way or the other.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So Vincent's really held up on this. Like,
yeah,
there's no rhyme or reason. He just won't believe that this artifact was found outside of the cave.
And they're willing to give it to him. They're like, just take it. Like, here, we didn't get it here, but you can have it. And they're like, and he's like, no, like, you need to show me where it is because there's obviously going to be more where that came from.
Yeah, he thinks this little taboo has brothers.
Yeah.
And he is just seeing these big, big dollar signs, Chip.
Yeah.
Big money grab. We're also entering the phase of Vincent Price's character that I like to call the musical fruit.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
The man loves beans.
Yeah.
He is chowing down on these beans.
Just a plate of beans sitting there while the boys are staring at him hungrily.
The boys are starving. You got to remember, this has been hours and hours.
Yeah.
We don't know. And Bobby didn't even get to eat his popcorn.
No.
He's
we're throwing his popcorn left and right. Yeah.
Yeah, sans snack, sans dinner at this point.
Yeah.
It's definitely getting later in the day. They're tied up. Vincent Price opens up a can of beans, heats them up, is eating them on the plate as these kids are just salivating.
Yes. Yeah.
And at a certain point, to get this guy out of the room, to give them a little time to strategize, a little time to try and hatch a plan that's going to get him out of here, Greg, the old brother, the leader, comes up with a super smart idea. He plants it in Vincent's mind. You know what? You need to heat up those beans. It looks like they're getting a little cold.
Yep.
And Vincent is like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
He gets him out of there with the cold bean swisheroo.
Yeah, the old baked bean. The old Cincinnati baked bean grift that we've all seen before. Yeah.
I just love the forethought of like, I need some space. Let's get this. This guy's obviously nuts. He's obviously following his appetites more than anything else at this point.
Sure.
I'm just going to plant it in his idea, like his head, that he needs to eat these beans. He gets out of there, and that's when they start working on plans.
Yeah.
You know, they actually get free. Greg kind of has some magic he's doing. He did something with the ropes when he put them on there to make them looser.
Yeah.
So he wasn't tied up fully, and they're getting out. The parents are arriving to the area at this point. They get to the forest. They're finding the popcorn. We know that if they can just survive, help is on the way.
And my favorite part is like, Bobby loves popcorn. It must be his popcorn. It's like popcorn kernels in a jungle, like they're going to see them. And then they're like, oh, yeah, Bobby loves popcorn. I don't think for any other episode ever in the history of the Brady Bunch, I could be wrong, but I don't think Bobby ever ate popcorn. It wasn't his thing. It was just like, oh, Bobby loves popcorn. They are obviously here in this jungle right now.
Yeah, it's not a big Hawaii treat. Like, I've seen my fair share of the islands, and I've never seen a big cornfield. Like, they don't have room for a bush that only makes 2 ears a year.
No, exactly. And it's so where he even gets that, and it's like a circus kind of like movie theater, basket of popcorn. It's just the most bizarre. It's one of the most like weirdest props that just sticks out like a sore thumb. But
also, there's just so many birds in Hawaii. There's beautiful birds all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that a Hansel and Gretel thing? Like, don't the birds come and eat the breadcrumbs or?
And then they eat Hansel's eyes out. I believe they peck his eyes out at the end, and then Gretel is thrown into a stove. I believe that's what happens.
Birds are monsters.
Birds
monsters that
are
can
the
fly.
worst. Yes, they are. Yeah.
That's terrifying stuff.
So the parents are getting close. They're close on the trail.
The parents are close on the trail, but the boys' escape attempt is thwarted with the tip of a spear.
Yeah.
He gets right in there and he ties them back up a second time.
A second time ties them up. Like, again, all right, boys, we're going to do, you know the drill. And they're like, sure, we'll put our hands behind the little tiki poles. Let's tie you up once again.
All right. Now Greg gets another hot idea.
Tie me up once. Shame on you. Tie me up twice. Shame on the 3 Brady boys at this point. I'm crying foul.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got to be so confused, so scared.
Yeah, I guess so. All right.
We are back to the point where Greg has an idea.
He's hatching a new plan.
He's hatching a new plan, and it is as old as the sun itself. It's not the Cincinnati baked bean scramble.
No.
It is good old-fashioned lying.
Yeah.
And he's like, this guy's crazy. Let's just tell him we found it here, and we'll go look for it, and we'll be able to tell him the spot. And maybe that will help us just get in a situation where we can get out of here.
Exactly.
So he tells them they found it here. We don't remember exactly where it was because we don't know the caves. But if you just walk around with us, we'll show you where we found it. They do that to no avail. And somehow that is what Vincent Price accepts as, oh, you really are telling the truth.
Yeah. Some sort of Professor Mind game, like, gift to the Magi kind of, oh, well, if this didn't happen, we switched it around. Therefore, by deduction, I have deduced that you were not lying. Ha, ha, ha,
PhD, pretty huge deduction.
King Solomon doesn't have to cut the baby in half now. He becomes that wise old professor.
It's very wise, very powerful, and he's right. They did not find it there. So you think, okay, they have nothing else of value for him. He should probably just let him go, right? No.
Yeah. No.
This is when he really threatens them. He's going to leave him for dead.
He's going to leave them for dead, is what Thomas just said. This is happening in an episode of season 4 of The Brady Bunch.
This is all the boys in the family, too. The Brady name, unless Mike really gets back on the horse, ends this day without intervention.
It really does. And I will say it'll probably cut 30 seconds out of that intro music, though, for episodes there. They only have to talk about the girls, which is kind of nice. You get a little more plot. I'm not saying it's worth killing off the 3 boys, but that's a little airtime you can have.
Well, I think it probably would right the balance issues we've been seeing on this Hawaii episode. We're in season 4. I assume it's been a similar breakdown for the first 3 seasons.
Yes.
If this ultimately is only going to be a 5-season arc, I think getting rid of the boys entirely and just having the girls be there, I still don't think they get as many stories in over the course of the whole series. That's my assumption.
I understood. I agree.
Now we have a little bit of remorse. This kook apologizes.
Yeah.
And he tells him he would never plan on hurting them. He was just going to get out of here with his treasures and then send somebody back to help them out.
Yeah.
That is when Mom and Dad show up.
Like the heroes they are.
There is a crazy old kook. Their boys are being held against their will.
Yes.
They are tied up. They're imprisoned. They have been threatened with weapons. They have been scared on purpose. They have seen a life-size grotesque monster pop out of a coffin.
Pop out of a coffin in a cave.
In a cave that they can't get out of, that they're lost in, and have been dealing with, these spooky thoughts and these old legends. These boys have been through all of it.
Traumatized.
And what do you think, Mike, when he sees his kids in this position, what kind of words do you think he has for the professor?
First of all, you don't think he would use words. You think he would start throwing hands. You would think that that's the first thing. But no, he decides to go another route. And Thomas, what does he say to the professor?
And I quote, "Mister, you've got a lot of explaining to do."
You've got a lot of explaining to do. Yeah.
And he does. So after all of this, somehow Mike comes in with a sympathetic feeling for the professor and
Yeah.
offers to help him establish himself in the archaeology world by vouching for the fact that he found this cave, he found all these treasures, he's the great white savior of the islands of Hawaii,
Yes.
and that him and his children will gladly vouch for him, and that he can get his status back in his community, and he can get all these things to a museum, and everything will be right in his world. He'll have the career he wants because he imprisoned 3 children, and then without having to leverage anything to get his children safe or whatever, he just volunteers. Like, you know what? This guy wouldn't have kidnapped my 3 kids if things were going well for him. I think it's time to do something nice for this guy.
He doesn't know what else happened in that cave. Like, here's another thing, too. How many other children happened upon this cave and
That's
did
a
not
good
meet the
point.
same fate? Over the years, there could be a lot more archaeological finds in there, which are just children from 3 years ago who were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and this professor murdered.
What are they doing with all those little corduroy bell bottoms? You know?
Exactly. Yeah, he's fashioning them into ancient tribal garb. He's bedazzling them out of it. Yeah.
Oliver's in just like a low-rise pair of pants that go up to his big old neck.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
It's getting wild. So now we smash cut to all is right in the world for a white man. It is a hula celebration where we find out that it's in celebration of this professor. It is literally just in celebration of him.
They are lauding him. This great man.
As this great man. They have given him his own wing at the museum.
Uh-huh.
And he's the head of it. He's got this big new job, big paycheck, because he found all this stuff that somebody else made.
Kidnapping pays, kids. Remember that.
This is a big propaganda piece for kidnapping.
It really is, and it works, and it shows. As long as you're a nice guy, as long as you don't do too much physical harm, and as long as you have some sort of background in academia, you can kidnap whoever you want, and you will be rewarded for it.
The other thing I love about this luau, well, they have this awkward moment where they're all blowing in a shell.
All 9 of them blow into the shell.
It is so much blowing.
It's a lot of blowing. I didn't see anybody disinfecting the shell before they blow into it.
No.
It is just herpes going around like crazy on this island.
Oh yeah, it's a herpes shell.
Yeah.
And I have to imagine too, like we had these big long recaps.
Yep.
And then we get to this point and we see 9 people, and it's not just a quick blow. Like they each get their moment with the shell. They can't do it. They can do it. They have a reaction to getting it. They blow in it. They stink. They blow in it again. Still stinks. They laugh.
It's half the episode.
They must have been short on this. There's no way, even back then with a different pacing that I'm not familiar with.
I wonder if this was supposed to be 2 episodes, but then they decided they had to make it 3. So they really had to slapdash this together. That's the call right there, is that this was 2 episodes. They turned it into a 3rd.
That's interesting.
I'm coming at you hot right now.
The other thing about this luau is that Dad is horny again.
He really is. Yeah.
It is
He's
just...
like, my sons were just kidnapped by a madman, and my wife is sitting right next to me. However...
Titties.
Exactly. That is the theme of the Brady Bunch.
I think he's bonding with the professor over this. They're just...
By the way, Vincent Price, ladies' man. Let me just say that. Yeah. By the way, if you see any movement back here, Franklin's hanging out with us. My dog is right behind us. So there's
Producer Franklin.
Producer Franklin just in the back checking all the wires. So yeah, he's getting hyped up and they just forgot that these boys a couple hours before were kidnapped in a cave.
Yeah, I mean, he's just brainwashed. And that there is a moment where you see the hula girls and then you see Mom.
Yep.
And Mom sees the hula girls and then she's like, "Oh, I bet my husband will like this." And you see her looking for him.
Right.
And just the look on his face when he's looking at those girls, it's just his tongue might as well have rolled out of his mouth like a cartoon dog.
Heart's coming out of his eyes. Yeah.
Big hard eyes. He is torqued.
Yes, he is. Yeah. And then there's this. Oh, and by the way, I think my favorite part. So you have like the hula girls,
Uh-huh.
and then you have the band, which is like the percussion guys.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know where you're going.
It's a percussion quartet that just doing the drums and the whatever, and it's 3 obviously very Polynesian looking men, and then just one guy that was probably a sound guy, like just a white man, just a guy named Sully. That they're just like, hey, Sully, we need a 4th. Take your shirt off and go stand next to this Polynesian man. Pick up some drumsticks. You're gonna be Hawaiian for the day. He's like, all right, and he's kind of got this like sort of like 50s greaser kind of like comb over, like that uncle that you only see once a year, like just that kind of situation. Like he's a trucker. He's like he looks like a teamster, like a white Irish teamster, but he took his shirt off, so. Oh, he's obviously Polynesian now.
Oh, it sticks out so poorly.
It's the greatest thing in the world.
And this luau has soundstage written all over it. Like most of the
Yes.
stuff has been on location. This is,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably back here in the States.
Yeah.
Anything else on the luau from you, Chip?
Just the fact that it just glossed over everything. That like everything is forgiven. Let's give this white man who just kidnapped some boys and threatened their lives keys to the museum and a lifetime of praise and money.
I just got so excited. Not only about just what we're entitled to as white men, the praise, the money, the accolades, all that stuff, but the fact that there's a good chance you and I, on this calendar year, are
Yeah.
going to be doing some kind of hula-style activity together.
Exactly. Yeah.
That we are going to be at a luau.
After
Eating up.
kidnapping some boys in a cave.
No, but I'm serious. Like, we're going to be there. We're going to
Yeah.
be in this environment. It's like I can just feel it. I can see it. I can smell it.
And I've never been there before, but like I'm getting so excited. So it's like you have that sense memory of it, and I'm so excited to go.
Yeah, and we'll be doing it together. That's going to
Yeah.
be the funnest thing. The families, hopefully some people will be joining us for various activities over the weekend.
Yep.
But I don't know. That's why it's watching these things. It's just a little mini trip. It's a mental trip.
Yep.
We're going there for a little bit. We're seeing it. We're smelling it. And that brings me back to my biggest problem with this episode as a piece of Hawaiian shot television is between the hotels and the caves.
Mm-hmm.
This could have been shot in Burbank.
Yeah.
Like we're just in hotel rooms and we're in a cave. They wasted it. They wasted the opportunity.
The first two episodes had a decent amount of like Hawaii actual, footage on the island, which I thought was great. But and again, I think that goes to show that like this was a 2 episode, and then they're like, we can make it 3. We're just gonna slap a bunch of other stuff together.
Potentially. I also have a feeling Mr. Price didn't join them in Hawaii.
That's true. Yeah, he definitely wasn't in Hawaii. There's
did
no
caves
exteriors.
and
Yeah.
the luau here. So
Yeah, that's true.
and
Very
I think
true.
that, but still find a different way.
Yeah.
Find a different way. Get outside. Oh, and so we talked about Kualoa Ranch recently.
Yes. Yeah.
In this episode, Chip, one of the exteriors when they're heading towards the burial grounds, Kualoa Ranch.
Beautiful. See?
Yeah.
And we're gonna be there. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
We're going to be there. So we talked about it, and then I saw it flash up, and I was like, I had no idea this was going to be here. I thought I'd bring it up. It was actually last episode, I believe, when they were on their journey to the place.
To the caves, yeah.
But at this point in the episode, the luau's over,
Yep.
and we get this beautiful sweeping pan of all of Waikiki from Diamond Head out at the tip all the way back into the beach and the hotels. And we come in. The family is packing up.
Yeah.
It's time for Bobby to get a little weird morality lesson. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what the lesson is. Did you track what this is?
I mean, it's sort of a glass half full, half empty situation.
Yeah,
maybe.
he was talking about the taboo. I thought it was good luck, but it must have been bad luck because only just awful things happened
Right.
when it was around. And Dad's like, well, it all depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Like, it could be good or bad luck depending on how you want to phrase it. And it's just like, me and my brothers got, really kidnapped.
Should we
and
talk to a
traumatized.
counselor? Maybe we need to talk to a mental health professional. He's like, no, it's just how you look at it.
Yeah, he's like, no, visualize a glass that's half full.
Yeah, yeah.
There was that weird lesson
Yes, very strange.
in there, and now we're leaving.
They're taking off. The plane's heading out.
And maybe that has a lot to do with like actual parenting. Like
Yeah.
there's just so many things in life that like I don't know.
Yeah,
But you've got a kid, they want answers, and you're just like, you know what? Maybe.
yeah. This was a good thing. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe you're asking me a yes or no question. I'm going to give you a maybe. I'm going to shroud it in mystery. I'm going to use some words and talk around it a little bit. And that's what you need to hear to get your little tush back on that plane,
100%.
back home where we can get in our green station wagon.
Yeah.
And I can continue being a architect of leisure and really, horning it up
Yep.
all over the West Coast.
And talking about it with my sons, which is just very odd.
It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. But hey, that was the 70s. And with that, Chip, I mean, what a 3-episode arc.
I'll tell you this, Thomas, right now, and I hate to get serious at the end of a fun episode. This is a fun, positive podcast, but as I watched these I watched these episodes many times as a child, but I realized something today. I'm putting my glasses on. I mean, that's how serious I'm getting with this, and the world needs to know this. I'm telling you right now, Thomas, I'm telling the listeners and the viewers at home right now, I'm very serious about this. The Brady Bunch 3-episode arc where they go to Hawaii was an allegory for the Vietnam War. Are you ready? Buckle up. Here's how it goes. All right? These episodes aired in the autumn of 1972 when America was in the thick of the war in Vietnam, okay? America's most wholesome, famous family was thrust into a distant land of which they knew very little, but they just went over there. The Vietnam War was said to be about containing communism, but we know now that it was about America's trade and economic influence in the region, as well as our access to materials like rubber and tin and other minerals. And Thomas, what was the taboo doll made of? Other minerals, okay? Read between the lines. And why were the Bradys shipped to Hawaii in the first place? Because of Mike's corporate interests in building over in that strange land. There were military bases over there. We obviously saw their tour of Pearl Harbor and Mike Brady's whole treatise about the USS Arizona. Speaking of the military, okay, in the first episode, Mike didn't ask the Brady kids if they wanted to go to Hawaii. He told them they were going to Hawaii. You know what that sounds like, Thomas? Sounds a little something called the Selective Service. The Brady kids were not asked to go to Hawaii. They were drafted to go to Hawaii. Okay, and what was the theme of the Hawaii episodes? Escapism and American idealism in the face of chaos. See, Americans were living the good life in the 50s and 60s. We thought we had it all great, and it was our hubris that sent us over to Vietnam thinking that everything would be okay. But we were met with the harsh realities of danger lurking beneath the surface, whether it was the Viet Cong or the Tet Offensive or a tarantula in Jan's tote bag or Greg's surfing wipeout. Speaking of Greg's surfing wipeout, where he suffered a tragic accident just off the coast, you ever hear of a little something called the Gulf of Tonkin incident? Look it up, Thomas, because that's what Mike's wipeout represented. Then we have the generational divide, okay? Mike and Carol were so consumed with the status quo and material luxuries, like that 5-star resort or fancy coral jewelry. It was the Brady kids. It was the youth of the early 70s that were awakened to the existential threat lurking beneath the seemingly idyllic setting. And what do the Bradys do to solve their problems? They send the young men off into the jungle to wage a war fraught with peril. Sherwood Schwartz illustrated America's hubris across the ocean. Greg almost died in a surfing accident. The boys desecrated an ancient artifact in a construction site. They openly mock the way the indigenous people talk and act, and they pay the price. So there you have it. The boys were the soldiers in the jungle waging an unpopular war. America's hubris comes back to haunt us. The generational divide of a nation and a family in peril, and the lost innocence under the backdrop of an escapist utopia. And finally, Thomas, Who is the very famous man who wrote and directed the 1986 Academy Award-winning film Platoon about the Vietnam War?
That's my good friend Oliver Stone, Chip.
Exactly. And who was Vincent Price's only friend inside the cave in those episodes? It was the tiki doll, Oliver, who was made out of stone. Ladies and gentlemen, the Brady Bunch 3-episode arc where they go to Hawaii was an allegory for the Vietnam War. And there you have it.
Chip, I mean, do you even feel comfortable? Are you in danger for exposing all this?
I might be, but the truth needs to be out there. Sherwood Schwartz sent that message, and I'm getting that message out to the youth of today.
Chip, I mean, what a conclusion.
What a roller coaster ride.
We've been up, we've been down. What's your favorite episode of the 3?
I think the first one is just you're so excited.
Yeah.
Again, half the fun is getting there.
Yep.
So I think that's the one. And then, I mean, they're all great, but the end one it has the catharsis, but there's the caves, which I love. And
Yeah.
I mean, anything with Vincent Price, I'm going to watch.
My definitive ranking is episode 1,
Okay.
top.
Yeah.
Episode 2, middle.
Yep.
Episode 3, I could have done without.
Yeah, exactly. It's there's not much I think a lot of the action is actually in 2. So
Yeah, well, a lot of the
that's where
drama's in 2.
in
The
2, that's where all the
fantasy-
bad stuff is happening.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The fantasy
absolutely.
is episode 1.
Yes.
You're getting to the island.
Uh-huh.
You are, sightseeing.
You're
You
meeting
are
Don Ho.
learning a little bit. You're running into Don Ho
Yep.
when you're knee high to a grasshopper yourself. Seeing a big international star like Don Ho.
Absolutely, yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
But this has been a great wrap up. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for joining us on this Brady journey. This is the Sunburnt Podcast. We talk about comedy and tropical travel. We'll be back with new episodes next week.
Yes, we will.
Until next time, stay burnt. Front desk.
Hi, this is Mr. Chantry in room 308. I wanted to see if I could reserve 3 seats on the hotel shuttle.
Absolutely. What time are you heading to the airport?
Oh, no airport. My 2 brothers and I need to return a cursed tiki doll to some ancient burial grounds that are guarded by Vincent Price.
All right, Mr. Chantry. Just don't tell your parents where you're going. Wink, wink.